First of all, thank you for clicking on this video. As I am a small creator, it's greatly appreciated. And also, this is a very information heavy video, so I have included chapters in the timeline, so feel free to skip to wherever you want to see. So yeah, let's get into it. Thank you very much for clicking on this video. Over Christmas, people have probably got money, bought Roblox, bought Project Flight, because it is paid access, obviously. Many people who have played PTFS will probably move to Project Flight, and that's where the confusion begins, because it's a very different flight simulator. And I thought I'd just put something together that teaches you the basics on how to fly on computer, and you could probably transfer this over to mobile, no problem. And I just want to replenish a scene really on Project Flight, because all the tutorials are either terrible or 40 years old. Like, look at this one, 47,000 views 2 years ago, and it's still gaining views, and this is just like completely different to how it is today. So let's just get into the basics of Project Flight. So first of all, I'm just going to do a flight for today, just to showcase a full flight, how to just do a full flight, get to A to B perfectly. I'll use the 737 because it has a cockpit, and I'll also teach you some stuff about the 737 cockpit in this game. We'll just do Jet 2 holidays. Nothing beats a Jet 2 holiday. So as soon as you spawn in, as usual, your aircraft is in operation, so you want to click L twice. You want to have lights 2 out of 6, and you can also input Takana attach the jetways by pressing J. You can also access the controls here. That will be different on mobile. There might be a button somewhere. I've not played on mobile. If you want to do a full flight in the cockpit, here's some tips I'm going to give you if you want to use the lights. The lights are here. So these are your landing lights. These are your taxi lights. This one. These are your logo, position, anti-collision, your beacon light, and your position lights. Steady is the nav lights, and strobe and steady is the strobe lights. They got rid of animation in the cockpit, which is unfortunate. It used to look way better. But anyway, this is your autopilot, obviously. This is your heading, and then this is your altitude. Now, headings are important if you are going to be using external navigation devices, which no one's covered yet in these tutorials, and it's very, very useful. Once you're ready to push back, all you need to do is just press J again. The jetway automatically detaches. And now by pressing P on keyboard, it activates pushback. Now, once you started pushback, just wait a few seconds to clear the gate a little bit. And then what you can just do is you can start engine 2. And if you want to start it in the cockpit, to start engine 2, it's these switches. And so you see GRD, ground. These automatically change, you don't really need to worry about them. Now, it's a pretty terrible taxi pushback job here, just because I'm showing you made things, so it's pretty difficult. So we can see I have no idea what this guy's doing. Probably going to fly into a warehouse. If you're in a bigger aircraft for long haul flights, usually you would just taxi on engine 2, taxi to the runway, and just before the runway you would start engine 1. Some procedures require you to have the engine on for 5 minutes. I won't do that in Project Flight just because the taxis are so short. Anyway, I'm going to start engine 1 just for the sake of this. Now we've pushed back, I'm going to introduce you to the navigational tools. Here we have PF Tracker, Project Flight Tracker. So this is an official tool for navigation. If you just click this, you can see everyone's playing, everyone who is in a server who's flying about. And if I log in, all you need to do is just log in with your Roblox account. It's very simple. Just don't worry about this. Risk is low, obviously. Just your username and your banner and profile link, just so it can find your account. And that gives you access to my server. Now this is very useful just for getting rid of clog. So here we are, Intellitom, so you can see our path that we've just done with pushback. And what we're going to do is we're going to take off in runway 09 here. So this is good for planning taxis as well. So what we can do is we can go down here, make a left, just taxi down, hold short here. So let's go and do that. First of all, lights, so we might want our taxi lights, which are here. And now we can also set laps to TO, takeoff position. There's nothing really else you can do, just because most of the things here are up. I am going to just taxi in first person because I like taxiing in first person. So we'll just take a left and we'll taxi. Now, I recommend going about 40-50% power. Just, getting moving. And about like 8 knots, just bring it back to around about like 12 if you have both engines running. If you don't, I recommend doing about like, maybe about 20-30. Just stay at about 20 to 25 knots The turns, just like keep it smooth, keep it simple. Don't turn too much, just keep a feel for the aircraft. Now, a good thing to do is to just plan your pre-departure autopilot. Now I like to do my flights in autopilot, especially if I'm in, this type of plane. So I'll just set the speed to around about 240 knots. Our heading, so the official charts say that runway 09's heading is about 97 degrees, I believe, if I remember correctly. There's really no point in braking while taxiing unless you're like 40 knots. So yeah, and also another way we can check is just by holding right click and get this heading. You can just do that, runway 09, but it's actually 96, so we've got to check that. And our departure, we'll just go about 2,000 feet, and then we'll just climb more if we're ready. So, we are now approaching runway 09. Feel free to share any of your personal experience or guidance in the comments, just so other people who, for questions I may have missed out, or information I may have missed out, just, it helps everyone. And it also helps the algorithm promote the video to more people, especially when they actually search up Project Flight tutorial. So here is the holding short point. You can also see it by this is holding short echo because of E, and we're holding short runway 09 because of the 09 in the red background. So what we'll do is we'll stop here. Make sure to stop semi-close to it, as there have been multiple aviation incidents where an aircraft has stopped way before it and have actually been hit. See an aircraft take off there. And before entering the runway, what we want to do is we want to check our flaps takeoff config. Let's just set the thing today just so we can get a better understanding of what I'm doing. And we want to have all our lights on. So landing lights checked, taxi lights checked, logo, strobes, so all the lights are on, have our autopilot set up, and we are deciding what we're doing. So if you want to follow the waypoints, just hold right click and drag to waypoints. But I'm not going to do that just for simplicity. So what we'll do is once we've finished the runway heading, we'll make a left turn and we'll just go heading 090. So sign up with the runway now. Another thing to mention is that if you are going east, you want to be at an odd flight level, like 3,000 or 5,000. If you are going west, you want to be at an even flight level, like 4,000 or 6,000. We are going east today, so we'll probably be at 5,000 feet. Now I recommend lining up on the runway just to brief yourself on the departure. So left turn to heading 090 departure, flaps checked, lights, everything's on, we're ready. So, throttle to about 50%, as you can see. Pressure's looking good, temperature's good. And then stable, so we'll go to about 80% throttle. Wouldn't do 100 just because you'll never really do a toga takeoff because the runways are so long. So, 80 knots checked. Just keep that pointed down a bit just so you don't accidentally take off prematurely. 120 knots. You can use Z and X to make small corrections with your rudder once you pick up speed so you don't have to turn. 140, V1 will just rotate now. So we want to see that blue screen now, want to go up to about 17 degrees. Positive rate, gear up, pressing G. Lower the nose a little bit now, we have altitude. Want to, just let it pick up some small speed. We'll stay at 96 now, just get on the autopilot here. And we're now at 10 degrees, so we'll just get the autopilot. The autopilot looks to ascend at about 9 degrees, so just make sure you are at about 10 degrees to keep this flight smooth. Now under 2,000, I would say keep your landing lights on, like the 10,000 in real life. But you don't really get up to 10,000 in this game. So once you get about 190 knots, we'll put the flaps up. And we can also... I will do the speed toggle when you're close to that speed, just because it does go toga, as you can see there. So now I'm fully on autopilot, so I'm making a left turn, heading 090. And I recommend if you're doing longer turns, don't just yank it to the left. Like, what I would do, just for demonstration, I'm going to turn to heading 070 now. I would slowly move it, and then just pick it up once it's done its full turn. So right, let's go to about 400 knots. Actually, I'm going to go to about 370. 370 is just an all-round good speed. 370 to 410 is about what I do. So yeah, as we climb, we can get our landing lights off and our nose taxi light off. Congratulations, you've done a successful departure. You are following procedures. obviously, and you are not climbing to 30,000 feet like some tutorials show you, because that is just completely unproportionate for this game. Due to the devs removing animation from the cockpit, don't worry, your gear is not down. It is just, oh no, there's literally 2 levels, that's something I need to fix. Anyway, we're just reaching 5,000 feet, which is going to be our cruise. And we're heading straight for RAF Aquateria. As we get closer here, you can go into the pfatc network Discord server, find ATC charts under ATC. We can select knowlege here. If you want to do a procedural approach, I'm going to do that today. I'm going to do the Cursor 1 Romeo arrival. So, at Cursor you want to be at 5,000, so we'll go direct Cursor now. So we'll make that left turn to heading 79er. So yeah, once we reach Cursor, this is a pretty standard approach. We're going to make a right turn to heading 090 and just stay on 090 until RimX will just guide ourselves in. And I'd recommend from around here just making that left turn, just intercepting visually. So 5,000 down to 3,000, and then I recommend going about 1,500, not 2,000, just because it isn't going to be a very steep approach if not. So here we are approaching Cursor, and from here we want to make that right turn. I'm going direct to RimX, past Gypro, which will be at heading 89. So what we'll do is we'll just bring our speed back now to 250. Maybe put some spoilers out if you want to, just do that just so decel a bit quicker. And we'll just monitor this until we hit Cursor. So we'll turn heading 89 now, and we will descend to 3,000 feet. Give them the spoilers up, and we'll lower the flaps soon. Once we lower flaps to take off, just when you're getting closer to the airport, and then I finally want to put them to land. So as you can see here, we're going straight, heading 89, direct RimX, so yeah, perfectly on the arrival now. So we are here, we're going to be going that way. Be careful of these contour lines. This means very high altitude, and we want to avoid that. These are just things to look out for. You know, as you can see, there is a lot of terrain around here, and do get close to it. So now we have the runway in sight over there. Just flying the arrival. If you don't have access to Discord, you can do this visually with Project Flight Tracker, and if you're on mobile, just it is a lot of going on in game, which is unfortunate. So we'll go flaps 1 now. We'll go to 240 knots. That's, you know, we'll go to 210 just to make the arrival a bit slower. We'll put the landing lights on, and I would recommend putting your taxi lights on when you lower the gear. So as you can see, the landing lights are on. You see the light on both sides. So yeah, I'm going to go down to about 1,500 now, just because I am going to Gypro. Just literally right over Gypro. So yeah, these buttons that are green, these are the ones that decide your. These are the ones that toggle the autopilot. Just because we do seem a bit visually high, we're going to lower the speed a bit. We'll go to 160, get the spoilers out, and we'll just make a bit of a right turn just to extend our approach. And we'll go down to 1,000 now. So yeah, don't feel strictly limited to those arrivals. Just focus on having fun, really. And having fun is doing a good landing. So we'll just go down to our landing speed now. I'm going to do like 137 knots, which is a pretty standard landing speed. And we'll make another left turn now to 80. We'll just put the lightning lights on just so I don't forget. So yeah, we can also extend the centre line of this runway. So we're not heading 220 as the bit difficult. So we can also do a makeshift localizer. So what I want to do now is I want to go here, and I want to go heading 50. And we kind of overshot it a little bit, so I'll just yeah, if you overshoot it, just like to about, yeah, just about 5 degrees to the left. We'll go flaps 4 now, and we'll go gear down. So as you can see, the flappy lights, so we have 3 reds, 1 white, and we can just intercept it. So what I'm going to do now is I'm going to go to the outside view, to the gear, and I'm going to just use the autopilot from outside of here. So get the, we'll just fly it manually now, with the auto throttle still on. So we can just fly this direction until we can manually intercept the localizer. So we're coming across it now, so I'll just make that right turn. I need to change these settings because it is very, like, yeah. And if you also want to just keep a stable approach and don't want to turn if you're a little bit off centre, just use X and Z as your rudder. They are very useful, just for small corrections. Around 500 feet above sea level, really, or just visually. If you just want to keep the speed on until you're over the threshold, you can do. I like turning it off though, just so I get a feel for the aircraft. So yeah, here we are on final. Hope the fly now will disperse out my way. So, 2 whites, 2 reds. Keep on that glide slope. I'm going to go a bit low, raise the nose a bit. Just lower the speed a tiny bit now. So on the glide slope. The batteries are a bit sensitive. Oh, bugger. So usually you go around right now, but for the purpose of this video, if you want to go around the tutorial, just let me know. So yeah.
50, 40, 30, 20.
So yeah, just keep it down. Just don't really bother about a smooth landing. Turn it down. So there we go. Go reverse is full. You'll just go. You just keep it like this. Don't bother manually braking. It's unrealistic. Maybe tap the brakes a little bit, and I'll just probably hold it down now, just so I can get off of this exit. So yeah, around 50 knots. Just take the reverses and swirls off. Full manual braking now. And now, what we'll do is we'll just taxi off the runway. We'll go flaps up, put a bit more power in, and we can take the landing lights off, and just set the strobes to steady. So pull off the runway. And yeah, that's basically how you do a full flight project flight. If you have any specifics you would like me to cover, I have approaching 600,000 flight time at the moment. Yeah, I've been playing this game since about 2023. I've seen its development. And yeah, it's a very up and coming game. Project Flight Update 9, I'll do a tutorial for that as well, just because, you know, the physics will be different. I'll probably just get a feel for the physics and then make a video for you guys. Thank you for watching. As always, bye bye.